Bro, you can pray later. This deal could set you up for life.
There's a kind of darkness that doesn't come from outside. It grows quietly inside a person's heart. It doesn't begin with something huge or shocking. It starts small, with little choices, little rejections of truth.
I have not gotten the money yet. I haven't seen any alert.
Over time, the heart hardens, and the mind loses its sense of direction. This is what the Bible calls a reprobate mind. Romans 1:28. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not proper. When people constantly refuse God's truth, He allows them to walk their own way, even when that way leads to darkness. Think of Daniel. He used to be a man of prayer, faithful, humble, full of light. He loved going to church, helping people, and speaking honestly. But little by little, he started to drift. It began when he thought, missing one Sunday isn't so bad. Then another, and another. Soon, he was too busy for God, too focused on money, success, and appearances. The voice of conscience still whispered, Daniel, this isn't right. But every time he ignored it, that voice grew quieter. Each lie he told, each corner he cut, made it harder to feel guilty. The light in his heart dimmed, but he didn't even notice. That's how a reprobate mind begins, not with one big sin, but with a series of small ones that go unchecked. A reprobate mind no longer sees things the way God does. It calls good things foolish and celebrates what is evil. It becomes comfortable in wrongdoing. It justifies what's wrong and mocks what's right. Daniel reached that point. He started laughing at sermons on TV. He told his friends, people still believe this? We make our own truth now. He felt powerful, free, and untouchable. But deep down, something inside him was dying. The sense of truth, the ability to feel conviction. You see, when the heart grows cold, even the brightest truth feels offensive. When we silence God long enough, the conscience goes numb. And when that happens, we lose the ability to see clearly. Evil looks normal. Sin feels safe. Time passed. Daniel's business fell apart. Friends disappeared. He sat alone, angry at everyone but himself. One night, he turned on the TV and saw an old preacher saying, "Repent before it's too late. God still loves you." For a moment, Daniel wanted to listen. He wanted to cry, to say, "Lord, forgive me." But pride whispered, "You don't need this. You're fine." And so, he turned off the TV and sat in silence, not realizing how lost he had become. That's the danger of a reprobate mind. It resists truth, even when truth is standing right in front of it. It's like a person drowning, but refusing the hand that reaches out to save them.
It's too late.
Days later, Daniel walked through a park, lost in thought. He felt empty. Then, a little child ran past him, laughing, holding a small Bible storybook. For the first time in years, something stirred inside him, a memory of who he used to be. He sat on a bench, bowed his head, and whispered, "God, are you still there?" And right there, something gentle broke through the hardness, a flicker of warmth, a small light. Because even when the mind is far gone, as long as the heart is still beating, hope is not lost. God never forces his way back into a person's life, but the moment someone truly turns, he is ready to forgive, to heal, to renew. Daniel's story is a mirror of what can happen to anyone. It doesn't matter how strong we think we are, if we keep rejecting truth, our minds will eventually lose the ability to recognize it. That's not a punishment, it's a consequence. When we push God out, we're left to our own broken understanding. A reprobate mind is a dangerous state. It's when someone feels nothing after doing wrong, when they no longer care what God says, when sin becomes entertainment and holiness feels boring. That's when the light inside begins to die. But here's the good news. God can still restore. He can still open blind eyes. The same voice that once warned us can speak again, if we choose to listen. The same heart that turned cold can beat with warmth again if we let his truth back in. Maybe as you listen to this, you feel a tug deep inside, a reminder of when your heart was softer. Maybe you remember when you could hear God's voice clearly, but now it feels distant. That's not the end. You can still turn back. Ask Him to renew your mind, to clean your heart,
God, renew my
to make you love truth again,
clean my
to help you see clearly what is right and what is wrong. Because there's still time, there's still grace, there's still mercy. Don't find yourself in that place where wrong feels right and truth feels offensive. Don't wait until your conscience goes silent. Come back to God now while you can still hear Him. No matter how far you've gone, God can still bring you back. Let this be your prayer today. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me.
heart, O God,
Psalm 51:10.
within me.
Because a reprobate mind begins when we stop listening to God. But restoration begins when we finally do.